guys would even agree upon the same budget account numbers of where to put money, or to take money from, the process and procedure of having to do that. That means that we're not being fiscally responsible. And it's frightening that you would wait this short of time to make a decision on how to spend our budget. And your department head should be, like, oh, who's going to be $10,000 because we gave them $10,000 last year? No, they need to tell you, what are they doing, what are their roles, what do they need money for, and then, after they've justified what they're doing, that's when you give them money. That's how you run a budget, a family budget. You don't just say, I gave you $25 last week, you get $25 this week. You need to make sure they know what they're supposed to be doing. I'm very concerned still because as a public member, and I see the different things that are going on and how the budget's in line, it's really not comprehensive what you're doing. It doesn't make sense. So I hope that we change your method of accounting to match with what you're supposed to be doing. So, are these for people or not?
No.
Just, yeah, that's mine from last week.
Anybody else? Yeah, we'll move on. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Nancy, second by Leash. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Moves us down to the budget discussion.
Saw all the changes that you made, Pat, thank you for the.
And I might have missed them or
Well,
not I mean,
that's where I'm going to,
Right.
governing body for training, I think we talked about $1,600 for each trustee for
that's like
training.
32,
So
so
it's
Yeah.
32.
Yep,
that's right, right?
Right, that is right.
it's at 3
Is that the
on mine.
No, on
That's
the,
the,
this
Look at
report,
this, look at this sheet.
on the far right,
Ah,
And this house,
this one is.
leave it right now. This house.
Alright, well, that's where it's at, cool.
yeah, it is.
I got something on the treasurer's office, Pat, but also something we should probably figure out between you and me. I have to mail the payments every month. I can't give them back to you, I have to mail them. So I need those envelopes and I need postage for that, which I did not really include in mine.
and I wasn't sure if these numbers were right on yours, Nancy, because you had all those numbers, but I didn't get a copy of what
Yeah,
was
I
sent.
wanted to look it over
Okay.
again, which is why I didn't, and I
Yeah.
apologize. And so those, no, not necessarily, I can give you what I put together. I might adjust it one more time.
Okay.
Every time I think of something different, I'm like, oh boy, did I include that? No. So supplies, I think you got 500.
Mhm.
I have 1330.
Okay, I didn't know,
And office expense,
I got 1,000,
yeah, I have 3874.
okay.
So this covers 2 tax years, 2 tax mailings. Not 2 tax years, 2 tax mailings. And I also included the annual PO box, and I'm gonna need more checks.
Who supplies up to 1,400 then?
No, this is what I had so far. We can leave it at that for right now.
So 1330 and 3874,
And 1840.
1844.
That's on transportation, since
1840.
I got both tax and general deposit going 2 separate directions.
We're not taking advantage of the ATM down at Blanchard's?
I've been advised not to bother by a resident bank employee, and a lot of other people have said the same thing. when people are walking in and out of those doors, and you gotta feed in a check one by one, and it's a wind tunnel, it's really not a good idea.
That was why we switched to Sydney.
No, I
because-
switched to Sydney because, Huntington costs commercial a fortune, because I have so many checks to deposit. They charge me per check almost. I got like maybe 30, 40, maybe a lot more checks than that.
So other than that, we're okay on yours.
At this point,
Okay,
we'll say yes.
okay. So for revenues on the one, taxes, we had the 88,818.
I'm gonna tell you, Pat, I could give you a more exact number in probably about a week and a half. You gotta remember, I don't have my warrant yet, those numbers come from my warrant.
I just wasn't sure where you're gonna start with any of this revenue,
You could, it's gonna change, that's gonna change, that's all there is to
but
it.
is it,
I don't know, you gotta look at this, when it concerns on capping and everything else. So it's not what was sold last year, it was what was sold the year before. Well, those taxes will come into effect this year.
right,
Like I said, until I have that warrant, I won't have that exact amount. You could put something in like that, and then,
what do you think we should put, I mean, just because we
I
need.
I can't tell you, I mean,
Do we
Caitlin
put
has that
85?
information.
We put
Oh,
85?
I
mean,
I wouldn't go down.
so 90,
I don't know, I won't know until I have my warrant.
but it's,
That's what I'm trying to tell you, those
But a
numbers are
budget-
firm numbers once the warrant comes in.
but the warrant comes in,
Caitlin and I have balanced to this point, but we've got a few more things to do, and then we can print the warrant. If I do it too soon, it's no good.
I just,
I don't have the numbers on the warrant yet, all I have is the taxable value for the year.
will we have it before our budget hearing, so we can give a budget to the people? I'm just
I'm
asking,
asking when the next one is gonna be.
will we have our budget hearing before the regular meeting on June, whatever that is, June 12th or
Yeah,
something?
we'll have it before then,
Okay,
or by then at least.
okay. Any other changes to revenue that we should,
Revenue sharing is projected to go down,
it was 286, and what is this?
284, 744. And that's our big one right there, is our revenue sharing. Now, anybody have any idea what, I'm looking at the big ones at first. Are we gonna get the same marijuana revenue? We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah,
So that's, do we budget 110 and just,
we could. Admin fee, I think will stay the same.
I think everything else.
And that actually will probably fluctuate too, because that is percentage of, a tax bill,
Mhm.
so. Tax
And that's,
collection,
it gives us something, and then we can always amend it
yeah.
as it
And
changes.
the tax collection fee is usually about 60-10 to 60-20. That's based on the number of parcels.
So if we did 6, we'd be,
It's either gonna be 6-10 or 6-20 usually.
I don't like that, 6:30 then, huh?
That's fine.
Now, so far, we are still earning a real good interest, and we received over 25,000 this past year.
so we should up that.
I would think so. Looks like community center rentals were 11,120. Community room 980.
So that's up.
And the gym, 5,737, and that's, we've got a few weeks left.
Mhm. See, reimbursements, that 14,000, I think, was from some of the election stuff. So, I don't know if we'll get that again, or,
Reimbursements go into there, they don't run their elections, correct?
yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Do Do you always, is it guaranteed that you can have election reimbursement?
Because I know that was, some of that reimbursement was for the camera and the box and all that.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
okay.
betting, maybe we should just zero that out. Because we have no,
You don't you get anything for postage or anything like that, or they just pay for that themselves?
now they're paying for a lot of it.
Oh, okay,
They're giving envelopes.
yeah. Refunds, I mean, so far it's under $300 for the year.
So we need to reduce that. 300. And we need to take out the sale of the fixed asset, because we're not gonna sell the truck, right?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, we're guessing on grave openings, but we can't tell on that one, land division fees,
Yeah.
foundations and lots, but I think we've kind of covered all of them.
Okay.
Question, how Charter, was it Charter that came before us that they wanted to start offering, their services in our area, so they presented a franchise fee to us, and we changed that to 0. Well, after that happened, I thought, do we have any other franchise fees currently at the township?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Since we have service, I thought maybe there would be telephone or internet or, yeah. Because we have a few internet companies.
Right, so one internet company was doing that on the others.
When they had a new line, they gave us some, didn't they? Said Jeremy that did that?
Or is that one on 522?
522.
Is that Win?
When,
Or
yeah, it
what
was,
was
I think, yeah.
Something on 522?
I think they gave us $500.
That's the fee, right?
Yeah, but these guys were structured as like a percentage per year through their customers, so I just
Yeah.
wondered if we had anything similar already existing.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, are we looking at where we've got blanks?
Yep.
Okay, and I guess the next one is DPW wages. Page 3.
Yeah.
This report doesn't show that new line item that we agreed, does it?
Which line item?
You know, we did, because we did a line item for Pat, which shows on,
Like,
because we created 41,703 for Pat, and that one doesn't show up on this report for whatever
when
reason.
did you do your line item?
It's 0. If you look at this.
No, that's why I said, when did you do it? When did you create
What,
it?
a couple, last month?
Okay, then it's, I don't know how I don't go into the budgeting at all, Pat, the programming, so it's,
I need to make
you're
sure.
not probably
Yeah.
selecting that general ledger number,
But
is
yeah.
what I'd say.
So we got 702 is for, Mitch, and 703 is for Pat. But on this sheet that this page 3, it only shows salaries together. But we would. That would be 702 and.
They're at, well, in this this was one before the last payroll, and then we've got 2 more
Oh, it
payrolls.
shouldn't be up, because this was ran yesterday afternoon.
Oh, it was one after? We did
What's the time?
5:29?
Yeah, so like, yeah, it should have been, that should have included tomorrow's payroll, or whatever day it is.
Okay,
So we would have 2 more?
I think so. I think that's all we can do for every 2 weeks.
Yep.
So,
703 shows it.
Yeah, but it doesn't show on this.
Oh.
And I don't mind.
I'm like, I'm lost, but.
I'll check that out.
oh, you're right, it does. It does.
It does.
Shows on one report and not the other one.
Yeah, so I assumed it would carry over, but see what that got me.
So what are their payrolls running? Every 2 weeks?
What's this one show?
Well, we had 3, this is really old, and we've had 3 payrolls in May.
Mhm. That was for activity. Well, because they're both working, well, this last one they had quite overtime, but usually it's 80 hours. Both of them are working 80 hours. $3,238, $3,293, $3,155, so about 33,000 right now, every 2 weeks payroll.
Say that again?
3,000, does that
I
sound
thought
right?
you said 33,000.
No.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna go home.
Me too.
3,300.
Okay, and we've still got, $14,685 left, so 80 was a little high. I would say you might be able to knock it down by 10, if there's, it's still like,
70.
since there's 14,685 now, we take 10 away from the 80, we've got enough for the last payroll, and still not, not gonna get 80,000.
So we talking increase for them, or? We don't have to talk about that now, just change that to,
To 70, and I believe it's like Sarah said, not only should they have yearly evaluations, are you just always, every year, going to increase their wages? You know, we had a guy sit across from us last week that, assumed that we would certainly not be doing our own mowing. First presentation he got,
Mm-hmm.
it's like we contracted out, right?
Yeah, we do know.
Yeah, so, I don't know, I mean, this is just a discussion.
And it's a discussion that needs to be had, because.
We checked that out, was it a year or 2 ago, having mowing done? And just Crystal Cemetery, way more than what it was costing us.
Oh, yeah, and I've had some conversations with Mitch while we were running around doing leaves about, let's talk about this. What parts do you like, what parts don't you like, what can you see, what would make it easier? And his answer to me was get somebody to do the Crystal Cemetery, I believe, and take the cemeteries, like, off of their plate and let them do the rest of the stuff. I believe that's how that conversation went.
but what was Crystal Cemetery did one time, Kurt?
Or they would do the cemetery and have somebody
500?
else do the rest.
400 or 500 a week mowing, and another 200 a week whack, was it?
It was crazy.
It's a lot of people, we know they're working, our guys are out there working, we know it's not.
2 guys, there ain't no reason they can't do it all. With 2 lawnmowers,
One bagger. So,
But if you don't,
Sorry.
Yeah,
right?
see if it works.
Right, one better.
And hopefully it does. Anyway, so. Maintenance repairs, Kurt, you had mentioned we should at least leave that 1,000, but I'm sure you didn't mean that we're gonna need tires on a truck that's only got 12,000 miles on it, right?
No,
But we should leave something for
Something
repair and
on-
maintenance.
yeah.
Yeah. Is there ever any cemetery miscellaneous?
That $300 this year was for, somebody sold a grave back,
Oh, that's right.
and then, somebody got another call, somebody might wanna do that.
But isn't that in the wrong place? If they sold it back, it's under that we're spending it.
Right, we had to spend them $300 because they gave us their
Oh,
cemetery
I see
lot
what you're
back.
saying, sorry. Yeah, that makes sense. And, your funds are okay based on, as far as revenues, say for fire, roads, police, based on last, well, yeah, fire is not right, but we made that correction, right?
Right.
Okay, so based on last year's, but that is totally subject to change once I get that warrant, okay? I really think our values did go up year before last through the sales, okay? Because we had quite a few sales, but not as much as we had, I think, the last year, we'll see. So if you wanna just carry it over to the other one.
Well, I was just looking at the police, 207, and we budgeted $12.50 for state liquor law enforcement, and we got 23, so should we up that to 2,000? I mean, 'cause we don't,
And I never know what those are
yeah, we
based on.
don't know.
They just
And
send them to
then
us.
court costs and fees, 664, which we've never budgeted anything.
You know, you keep having people park where they shouldn't, and we'll get those coming in.
I like those. So should we do 500 for court costs and fees, just
Sure,
to have something?
sure.
And then we did 92 for the sheriff, and then 500 for marine patrol, right?
Mhm.
Roads, we own that one. Lights, assessments. Street lights, those are pretty basic. Oh, I know my question I was gonna ask. Where should we put 18,000 for the rec plan? As an expense, what line do we make sure we need to make sure we got 18,000 in there somewhere for that?
And that brings up like planning in general. Cause I'm a little uneasy not having a capital improvements plan. Like that's kind of the bottom brick that like steers us which direction we're supposed to go with this budget in the way I see it. And, we have some capital improvements that are gonna need to be made in the future. So I would like some sort of budget for planning, because the things are going to keep coming as things keep being used, and
Chris, I'm sorry.
I have to add that with the DDA, cause since they're giving us 10,000.
Oh,
Well, I would think it would go under building and grounds, and it's focused on grounds, but if we're gonna have a funded as building and grounds both, then it's part of the grounds.
So that would be an expense under building and grounds.
Well, it would be for, trying to think what we like to call that. They're not really a subcontractor, really.
See, I would almost think under professional and contractual services.
All right.
For planning, I would
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
that would make sense.
So we've got that at 27. What have we spent so far this year? We spent 26. So we up that to
35?
35, and then add this, the $10,000 from the DDA is on page 1, contributions and donations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where that would go.
Should there be kind of a different GL number for cooperative agreements with other entities? So it's kind of out on its own? Because cooperative agreements and collaborations are all the rage in every training and every other meeting that I've gone to. Yesterday was Office of Rural Prosperity, and they are all about that, bringing in more people, so it's not just one entity trying to do a giant lift, because you're gonna benefit many circles by making the middle one, you know?
I can see if there's another, the auditors a line item to create for that.
Something along those lines, or what they would suggest.
Make that then.
Okay, so we've got 86,000 that was in the recreational project, and we were gonna move that over to,
Yes.
Was moving to park.
That's not showing up in the budget package, is it?
no, it's
I
not.
just realized that. The 285, the ARPA's not there, and
Well, we talked about the ARP a little bit, there's still money there.
Yeah, but I
just
mean,
that
it's
the
not
only thing
showing
that's
up
still
on
gonna come
my-
in is interest, yeah.
why not on the budget? The budget pages.
You know, maybe we should, do you want a separate fund for, our Parks and Works plan? I mean, look at the park development. It's got several line item numbers there. I don't know if we will, I mean, down the road, once we start suggesting and we start accepting what they think we should do, that is something that will ultimately be expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd check and see what the auditors think,
Or a new line item there?
whether it's a, you know, an actual, another fund,
A new fund or just a line item?
right? Well, okay, so we kind of just went right over top, Department of Public Works wages. I think we were gonna put it down to 70, I guess,
Yep.
Yes.
I guess
and
I
we're
did.
just gonna leave it like that, and then make sure maintenance and repairs are 1,000. cemetery, 300. Miscellaneous. And, yeah, you have already got in there what, the raise that the sheriff's department will want, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Oh, 184,000 in roads, we're not gonna bring in that much money. And we always spend whatever we brought in. What's the raise there?
I think that included it all, but then he'd given us some back
Well, this is for next year.
Yeah.
This is for this next
for
year.
what they're doing now.
See,
Okay,
'cause
but
some
I'm
of-
looking at our 24-25. This is right now, it's 141,854.
And that's what we just
That's
passed.
what we bring in,
the board.
okay, that's what we bring in, approximately that much. And the recommended budget is 184,000, we don't bring in 184,000. We bring in this.
About that, that's kind of even high. But
Um,
we have been bringing out a little more.
roads, 141,498. Was the
Four
exact,
people.
for the 23-24 tax year, for that millage.
So change that to 141.
I wonder if did that include our chloride, did it?
It might have.
Yeah, I think it did actually.
Cause that's about another 40,000.
Well, right, but it shouldn't be in the budget for the 24-25. That's all I'm
Budget
saying.
141.
We don't want that right there.
What was that, 141? What was
Yeah.
it?
498.
It's probably right for.
No, it's not, it's not, it's my
It's
handwritten
right.
notes from last year's warrant.
Gotcha.
Was that down to 141 then? Recommended
so.
budget?
I think so.
It's gonna be a little bit more, but I don't know what. But,
141.
Caitlin will be, we'll probably have to point next week so I can get the warrant, so that will tell us for sure. The West Tech lights look good. I think the street lights look good. Fire fund looks good. Probably not gonna get another grant. Charges for services, and I don't know about the fire protection.
Oh, the contracts, that's right.
Yeah, I think they're more than that, but let's look at something. Yeah, well, we brought in over 23,000 in this fiscal year, but I'm trying to remember when that, delinquent tax or delinquent, personal property tax came in from Harris Township, because that was quite a bit of money, and if that was after July of last year, that's gonna account for that. We should probably email the fire chief and ask him if he's raising any of his, contracts. I guess I leave that 250 in the charges for services, but so far this year, it's only been 75, that surprises me. Normally they're filling air tanks or something like that, but I don't know where a variation there would come in, I'm sure there's a reason for it. I think that means we've gone through everything, but, we don't have anything for the sewer yet, we're probably still working on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have anything from them.
Nothing for the sewer.
Janet and him went over it yesterday, and it's got a guy that's gonna help him determine the expense of doing some of these, supposed to be there tomorrow.
Okay, all right. I don't have anything else. I think we filled in all the blanks that were
We
good.
did.
What do you think, Pat?
I think so.
Sarah?
Anything, Sarah?
Covered everything that was sticking out to me.
I will try to get the changes made in the next few days and then send you an updated sheet like this.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
And then you'll have warrant numbers, that'll be harder numbers, and, you know,
Did we decide between us envelopes for, payments we have to make out and postage for that? Do you want it under yours, do you want it under mine? It doesn't matter, but if it's under mine, then I'm gonna have to adjust the figures for that.
I would think adjust it for yours, Nancy, so that, you know what I mean, everything in your office is,
Right, yeah.
so they have to come out of your office.
I know, yeah.
So yeah, so let me
Okay.
know what that change would be.
Okay, all right. So I didn't include those envelopes and that, those stamps, and I checked online, the postage a couple weeks ago, and I think stamps are going up again in July. 72 cents.
That's terrible.
I know.
So, you wanna meet again next Thursday, or
We can.
since we
sure.
got the sewer
Get
and
some
nothing,
Get some more finalized things,
Then-
get a little harder, and, yeah.
cause the board meeting will be the following week.
And I'll get with Caitlin on Monday, and we'll go from there. Well,
And I work-
I will not get with her on Monday.
I work
get with
until
her tomorrow
5:15
or
every day
Wednesday.
next week,
6
except for
o'clock
one day.
again next Thursday?
That's fine with me.
Thursday, 6 p.m.
same time, same place.
Okay, all right.
Okay, got any more public comment? Kim?
Just an FYI, so with me being the treasurer of the Lake Association, I do use the ATM at Blanchard's, and I do, deposit every day 30 checks. You can do it at a time. And you don't have to do any more, it's the new ATM, and it's real quick and easy. 30 checks go in all at once, and it's real quick and easy. The only thing is, I like to have they actually take pictures of each check that I deposit, so that's what takes the longest. If you don't want your checks that you deposit to be, you know, the receipt. I get the big long receipts because I want each check that I deposit to be pictures of them.
Right.
That's what takes the longest, is for them to photocopy it. But yes, it takes all 30 checks now at one time, plus cash, and I take big sticks of cash at the same time. So you know, with the old ATM, you had to do either a cash or check first, and then you had to take your card and your receipt, and then you had to stick your card back in to do cash, or, you know, to do it again. You can all do it, you know, cash first, and then it says, are you done? And you say no, and if you wanna do your checks then, you just put your checks in, and it's real quick and simple. And I do this every day, so I've never had a problem yet. And I have 30 checks at the time that I put in the machine, and all you have to do is stand in a certain spot, and that door stays open. Inside Blanchard's, and I don't ever have a problem, so just, because I don't like going, I have to drive because I have to do this every day. So I don't like to have to drive to the bank every day, so just so you know. And the gal at the cash register always stands there and talks to me. Because I'm there quite a while, waiting for my big long receipt.
Anybody else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Elise, second by Nancy to adjourn at
6:40.
6:40. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any discussion?
Where's the donuts?
You didn't bring them.
That happens at the DDA meetings, you need to come to them.
Nobody told me they served donuts. Kurt, you never told me they had donuts. in
Not
the
every
meeting.
DDA
Wait a
meeting.
minute.
Donuts?
I
Oh,
think
yes.
once. That was old.
tells.
Anna wasn't
That's
there.
why we have a coffee station.
They only use that once too.
I know.
Come on.
Don't forget your football.
You might have to
All right,
start
no
popping
problem.
some donuts.